Hey guys, it is me, Simone. In this video, I'm going to work in my art journal today. So right now, I just showed you an elephant stamp that I'm going to be using, and I'm trying to pick which elephant I'm going to use in this art journal page. So I'm stamping out the one that has his hand up, and the one that is like looking up to the sky. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but after stamping the one with his hand up, because I was just trying to decide whether I wanted the elephant to be holding the balloons that are die cut over there in my original, or did I want him to be looking at the balloons? And I decided that I like him looking at the balloons better. So I stamped that out and some scrapbook.com dye ink, which is like one of my favorite inks to use. And I'm going to heat set it, and I'm going to use my Distress Oxides. I'm using the colors Furried Burlap and Shaded Lilac and Tattered Rose in there. So this idea I had last night, like the last night of this video, when I was going to sleep, I wanted to make a art journal page with balloons like floating upwards. I don't know, I just wanted to do that. So when I woke up the next day, I got started on it. So the balloons are cut up out of like scrap paper that I tested out Distress Oxides on, or like splotch paper that I had between my journal pages, just any other kind of paper that I keep around. And I just cut it out with a AliExpress balloon die. I'll link it below if I can find it. And um, so right now I'm trying to see what color I want to use. I was tempted to paint him purple, but I decided to go with frayed burlap. I like that better. And I'm gonna add some purple and like pink detailings on him, like his cheeks and stuff. This page went out pretty quickly, and it was really fun to use, like to make. I was really in an art journaling mood. Like I was art journaling and doing like 2 or 3 pages a day over the weekend. So I had a lot of fun. I haven't touched my art journal in a long time, and then I did realize that I don't have many pages left. So that's kind of sad and happy. I'm glad I'm finishing up another art journal, and this is one of my bigger art journals. I have a bigger one that I made years ago that I never finished, but this is one of the newer, bigger journals. So I'm going to glue down, this is I think some encyclopedia paper, I think that's what it is, I got from my local library. I'm telling you, go to your local library, and sometimes they'll have free books, and that's how I got this one. They had a little cart of free books. I just grabbed the first one I saw, and it was a encyclopedia, and then that's like my go-to book. The pages are so like easy to rip and soft. I love it. So I'm adding these papers here to add like a mountain, kind of like grass area. That's where my elephant's going to rest. So I'm adding that real quick with some glue. But most of the idea, I was already ready. Like I did some of the things off camera. So the background you see is just some purple, red, and pink DIY spray mist that I made. I'll leave a video link below if you don't know how I make those and you want to make your own, really cheap. And so that's what I used in the background after I gestured it with my homemade gesso, and came on with my day. And while I was working on this page, I used some of the scraps from this page to work on the other page, and I did that later on the day. So I'm using a little bit of my slick sticks from Art Skills. You can get them at your local Dollar General, I think it is, but you can get them at any kind of like crayon water soluble stuff anywhere. I know like Target and Walmart have their own version too. So right now I'm just going through all the balloons, and I'm adding some archival black ink. It's just the one I grabbed the quickest. I'm just edging them a little bit so I can give them a little more dimension. I'm not trying to be perfect with it, so that's why I didn't bring like a blending tool out or nothing. I just kind of did it roughly. I'm just drying them to make sure the ink is dry on them. So it was very fun to use some of those papers, and I did use some papers that have embossing on it. So that's something I had to keep in mind when I start to glue them down later on, because the embossing powder was heating back up and reacting, which sucks, but you know. So right now I am following the curve of the paper that I put down, and I am outlining it with some acrylic ink. And I'm going to add some acrylic ink to the edges, like the 2 diagonal corners, to kind of just frame in the page a little bit. So you can see I'm only working on one side. You could have brought the balloons over to the other page and continued, but I didn't feel like doing that at the time. So actually what I'm going to do on the other page is I'm going to get a quote later on. I used to do it a lot, but I kind of stopped. So I'm going to add a quote later on. Right here, I made a mistake. I thought that it was peeling up, but it wasn't. That was the other page. It just didn't seem like it was because this page is actually ripped a little bit. I did not know that. So since I put glue down, I didn't want to waste it. So I'm just going to glue down some of the strips of paper that I didn't use um, on this page for the next page. And I made a really beautiful layout. Did not record that one, but and so give myself some time to do something else while the other page is drying. This is another reason why I have like 20,000 journals. When I'm in a crafty mood, I want to continue crafting. So a lot of times I'll have like 3 or 4 journals going at one time so I can keep going and I don't like lose my creative juices by stopping and waiting for something to dry. So I'm going over the mountain, grass field, hills, and I am adding some of this tan acrylic marker. And I'm going to cut out everything. I think it's from Montana, I think it is, that I got from Michael's when they were on sale and I couldn't sing them out. And I finally cut him out. I think I have dies for them, but I didn't feel like searching for them, so I just cut it by hand. No point. And it was easier to just do this real quick. And I'm going to edge him too with some black ink so he sticks out. So I have his position where I want him to be. And I'm going to heat up my hot glue gun and get everything ready. And I know I'm going to use some foam. So right now I'm trying to figure out my placement for everything. And I decide that I'm going to have 3 in the back, 2 in the middle, 2 layers of 2 in the middle, and then 1 close to the elephant. And so that's how I'm going to do it. And I just got some foam around my desk. It's only craft foam is so much cheaper than buying some of that what's it called? That double-sided tape foam on certain occasions. If you don't really care too much about acid-free. I don't know if like craft foam is acid-free. I couldn't tell you. So right now I think I'm just going to have to get something real quick. I think I will have to get some ribbon that I might be using on the balloons a little bit later. So I actually am starting to look up some quotes too to see what kind of quotes I want to use. I started Googling quotes that had balloons in them, see if I could find something like that, but I couldn't. So I looked up a quote with the word freedom, and that's what I ended up going with. I love putting quotes down if I'm feeling some kind of way to just invoke my feelings. So I will tell you what the quote says because you don't think you can read it from here. So it says, the voices in my head telling me what to do, what to say. Freedom. That's all I've ever asked for. A puppet on strings. That's me. The day I get freedom is the day I truly live. And I don't know who wrote this quote. It just was on YouTube. Not YouTube. It was just on Google Images. So I just put unknown by it. So I really liked the quote. I thought it was really cool to have the balloons floating away from the elephant, kind of like the free innocence. I thought it made some sense to me. And I really love this quote. I just loved it when I first saw it. I wanted to make sure the quote wasn't too long since I'm going to be writing it in with a paintbrush. This is a calligraphy brush I think I'm using. Or I'm just using a paintbrush. I think I might be using a paintbrush. I can't remember. And I know I write a little bigger when I'm painting. Like I'm, painting the words than when I'm writing the words. So, now time to hot glue everything down and get my fingerprints all in the embossing powder. So I'm using some foam. I'm going to build up some of the layers, and some of the layers I'm going to have flat, kind of just adding depth to it. So the balloons in the back are flat to make them seem like they're further away. And then popping up some of the bigger the balloons that are closer to the elephant too. And then I'm going to get some string, and I'm going to get some, what's it called? Ribbon. So it's like a blanket. I have this ribbon I think I got from Dollar Tree that I'm going to add to the page, like he's sitting on a blanket to ground him more. And of course I'm popping him up too so he doesn't just, blend in with the background. outside, I'm going to go off and do that. But your page don't have to be like super like detailed or anything. You can just put a little image, maybe paint a face or something, and get a quote, and then do that. I mean, it's as simple as you want it to be, or as detailed as you want it to be. It's up to you. However you feel, your page is leaning or drawing you to, you should take that chance and do that. So I think I'm almost done with this. I'm getting pretty close to getting done. I'm going to date it because I keep forgetting to date stamp my pages. So I'm going to go through and date that. And just going down this yellow twine that I have. And I think I got this from Studio Calico Kit. I haven't used it. Like, it just sits. I keep finding it like on my floor and stuff. That's where it sits, on my floor. It's a shame. I don't use a lot of twine or string like that. But the video is done. I'm about to date stamp everything and put it down. It's weird putting down 2019, but that's where you are now. I hope you enjoyed this page and you got some inspiration, guys. Much love, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Get crafty.